Hello, everyone, and welcome to thepeoplesmovies.com, and welcome to the very first ever installment of the week in wrestling here on the peoplesmovies.com website and YouTube channel. I'd like to welcome you, and I'd like to welcome myself. I'm LK. I'm from prowrestling.me and cocosports.net. I'm a video podcast over there 7 days a week, and I'm also going to be doing video podcasts right here on the peoplesmovies.com. So I'd like to thank them for welcoming me on board. I'd like to thank you for listening to the first ever installment of the week in wrestling. Now, how this is going to work is I'm going to give you the week in wrestling. I'm going to talk about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about the New Japan Invasion Attack show from a few weeks ago. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing. So I'm a huge fan of not just WWE. I'm a fan of pro wrestling genre as a whole. I'm also going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about TNA Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, SmackDown. I'm going to talk about them. I'm not going to break them down and review them and analyze and really dissect them as such. Because if you want to find out more detailed analysis, head over to prowrestling.me and head over to the prowrestling.me cocosports.net YouTube channel. I'm not sure if prowrestling.me's server is back up because we had it crash because so many people were viewing it, which is it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing at the same time. So everything's growing. I'm growing in the realm of the video podcasting in the wrestling genre, and I'm looking forward to getting down to this. Also got a little bit of news that came in yesterday. I'm going to be talking about some suspensions that occurred in the WWE, and 7 more talents have been announced for the WWE Global Cruiserweight Championship Series that will air in sometime in July. That will be on the WWE Network. So let's get things off with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you don't watch New Japan, and there's many people who don't watch New Japan, I call this the week in wrestling. This isn't the week in WWE, that WWE Network bullshit program. This is the week in wrestling, where I'm going to talk about wrestling, okay, not just WWE. So if you're just a WWE fan, please stick through me with the thick and thin here. We're going to talk about some New Japan, but don't worry, WWE fans, or if you're just a TNA fan or just a Lucha fan, I will talk about that, okay? So New Japan Pro Wrestling had their Invasion Attack pay-per-view last Sunday. Just to run through the matches quick. You had Bad Luck Fale and Yujiro Takahashi defeating Juice Robinson and the Funky Toilet Taguchi. Jushin Liger, Kojima, and Nagata defeated the Team of Chaos, which was Sakuraba, Toru Yano, and Yoshihashi in an OK 6-man tag. Hiroki Goto and Ishii defeated Los Ingobernables de Japan. One thing you'll learn about me is I slaughter the Spanish language, the Japanese language, the French language, the Italian. Sometimes I even fucking slaughter the English language. There is a plethora of languages that I slaughter and take great pride in slaughtering. And so if you're listening to this in your Spanish and you're listening to this in your Japanese, I do apologize. I don't mean to insult you. This was a decent match, though. Ishii, obviously, the Ring of Honor television champion. It was just a kind of a match to get Evil and Ibushi on the card. Same as Goto and Ishii. I'm a fan of all talents in this match. Bushi got pretty bloody at the end, but it was pretty. I enjoyed it. It was worth it. It meant nothing. But when you watch New Japan, okay, if you've never watched New Japan before, what I would do is the first 3 to 4 to 5 matches of every single card, you're going to get 6-man, you're going to get 8-man, and you're going to get tag team standard matches. If you're a person who believes in only important matches, but if you're a WWE fan, then you don't, the matches are just there to get people on the card. Like Nagata wanted to be on the card, Kojima needed to be on the card, Liger needed to be on the card, the Funky Toilet Taguchi needed to be on the card, Ishii needed to be on the card, Goto needed to be on the card. So they kind of just chuck them together in a 12-man clusterfuck. New Japan, the king of sport, is New Japan, the king of tags. And so if you're new to New Japan, I would advise you to, if you don't enjoy 4 hours of wrestling, because this show was about 4 hours and 15 minutes in length, it does take a lot of your day. So if you don't have the time to sit down and watch it, then I would recommend only watching the big 5 matches. But this card, so from now on, all matches are important. So on to our first important match of the night. We had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships on the line. And one thing I loved about every single one of these next matches, all fucking 6 of these next matches, I loved how important and how much of a big fight feel every single goddamn match felt. It felt prestigious. They had entrance music for the championships. They would on the gimmick board on the top. There'd be, say for instance, in this match, there'll be the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships on that board, and it'll go dark, and then there'll be special like noises for specific belts, and it really added the element of, okay, this is a sport. These championships, they're not just belts, they actually mean something. So Roppongi Vice did win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, which is Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. They defeated Matt Sydal and Ricochet. Obviously, Ricochet, a part of the a Best of Super Juniors tournament coming up in the next few months. Obviously, Ricochet talking. Obviously, he wasn't a part of Lucha Underground Season 3, but rumor has it that he will be joining the WWE sometime in 2017, because obviously he may be able to sign a contract with the WWE, but he will not be eligible to perform until because of his Lucha Underground contract, and that's how far as I know it anyway. But Roppongi Vice, your new IWGP Tag Team Champions, junior heavyweight division anyway. Beretta that now with his fifth, I think, IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion, with his third different, obviously, as part of Forever Hooligans, and now Roppongi Vice. But really enjoyable match. Really enjoyed it. Fast-paced action. Speaking of fast-paced action, my boy Will Ospreay, who I've seen many times in the UK independent scene, and if you have not checked out any UK independents, quite frankly, you should, and you should feel disgraced if you haven't, because literally, no word of a lie, I am so proud to be English, because our English talent depth, it's phenomenal. There's from top to bottom of the country, it's just talent after talent, company after company. I mean, this year alone, I've been to ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling. I've been to Revolution Pro Wrestling, and I went to just a local indie show just to see how the local scene was, and that wasn't really enjoyable. But I loved the ICW show, and I adored the Rev Pro show. Rev Pro show featured Pete Dunne versus Will Ospreay versus Mike Skull in a triple threat for the British Junior Heavyweight Championship. What an incredible match that was! Really good stuff. And there was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Timothy Thatcher on there. It was just a great time. So if you are listening to this and you do live in England, please go out of your way to check out the indies. And if you're listening to this anywhere in the world, then you can find Revolution Pro Wrestling online, you can find IPW online, you can find Future Shock online, you can find ICW online, you can find Progress Wrestling. Progress Wrestling is that one company that's on my bucket list. I'm a huge fan of Progress Wrestling. As you can see, that I've got the Progress Wrestling hoodie that I have on my back there, that when it gets cold in here, because this is the PWME UK headquarters, it's really fucking scorching here. You wouldn't believe it, okay? So if you look outside, see that light shining? It's really warm. But inside, I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? This might make you laugh. Well, basically, over there, you can't see it, but over there, there used to be a heater. And it was on a specific timer gimmick, so I can't take the piss and just have the heating on. Well, it was Monday Night Raw, okay? And I live in England, so Monday Night Raw finishes at 4:15. Then every single Monday, live after Monday Night Raw goes off the air, me and Dave Coco, we do a review of Monday Night Raw. I'm usually out here till about 6, 7 a.m. Okay, so, and by the way, I work from about 2 to 11 every day. So basically my life is 2 to 11 work, 11 till 6 podcasting and writing, and then 6 till 2 sleep. And in between that, I do spend time with family, I do spend time with friends, and I spend time with my girlfriend. So that's actually pretty damn shocking. I have a great life, and I love every damn second of it. But I digress. Back to the original story that I was telling. I had a heater over there. And basically what happened is I turned it up to max. I was in here. It was absolutely freezing outside. I come in, I'm there in my jacket, and on top of the jacket, I'm wearing my hoodie, and on top of the hoodie, I'm wearing a jumper. I'm literally freezing my English balls off as we spoke. And I'm like, okay. So I went over there. I turned it on full blast. I took the switch out, which was the timer, put the plug in, turned it up full blast. I mean full blast, ladies and gentlemen. It was hotter than a nun's fanny. It was that hot. Okay, so I'm sitting there, I'm sweating my balls off. And I'm like, okay, end of show. I'm literally so tired. I'm beat. I shut the laptop down, turn the lights off, close up shop. Okay, so next thing I know, I wake up. It was around about 1 or 2 p.m. And I go in the office to check my emails before I went off to work. And I look, there's no heater. And I'm like, Jesus, it's fucking hot in here. All the windows were open. And my dad comes in and goes, it was like a fucking sauna when I came in here earlier. What happened? Did you do that little cheeky shit thing you did? I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. He's like, don't be sorry. I just took the heater out, and now we've got basically, this is my dad's desk. We share an office. And underneath it, there's a heating gimmick where it basically heats up all the room, and it's only on it goes 2 hours on, then an hour off, 2 hours on, hour off. And I can't switch with it. There's no fiddle with it. That's how it is. So I'm still warm. I'm actually really warm in here today for some particular reason. And this weird little gimmick, the color, you might think it's a really weird color. It's actually insulation to make it especially warm in here, and it really is warm. But I'm the human Waffle Fest machine for a reason. Let's get back. Stop. Enough of this lollygagging around. Kushida did retain his IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Will Ospreay in my match of the night. I really enjoyed this match. I'm a big fan of Will Ospreay, and I just wanted him to show the world what a great talent he was, and I wanted him to prove that he is one of the best England has to offer. He went out there. They told a story. They methodically worked a body part. They really did. Kushida worked Will Ospreay's right arm. And the psychology, and I always say this on every single damn show I'm a part of, every single one, that psychology, the art of selling, lots of it has gone from pro wrestling. Lots of it. the majority of it has gone. It's non-existent, pretty much. So when I watch this, and I've been whinging and nagging and complaining and moaning like a dopey fucker online, saying there's no psychology, there's no storytelling, there's nothing. On this, they told the perfect story. Will Ospreay's arm. Kushida worked the arm for two reasons. A, it affects his Will Ospreay's springboard offense, and B, it works his finisher, the hoverboard lock, which is basically a modified cross arm breaker. So the whole match, he works the arm. Will Ospreay's on his comeback. He goes for a handspring elbow, where he springs on the ropes, bounces back, and hits a spin kick. Well, he went to do that. His arm buckled out, so he couldn't perform it, which Kushida then back in control. So basically then another 5 minutes later, he did a handspring elbow, but did it no-handed because he's selling the arm. No-handed handspring spin kick. What an amazing offense. What an amazing, amazing, amazing match. Kushida got the win with the hoverboard lock. Really, really, really enjoyed this. Then we had a 6-man tag team match for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championships, where we had the Elite, which is Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. They lost their championships to Hiroshi Tanahashi, Big Mike, Michael Elgin, and Yoshitatsu. This was Yoshitatsu's first match back from the injury. If you remember last year, AJ Styles took him out with the Stars Clash right on his neck. Really nasty move. So Tanahashi wins yet another championship. Michael Elgin's first championship in New Japan, and Yoshitatsu got his kind of that feel-good moment, that redemption where Yoshitatsu got the win. And I loved how Omega, during this match, he kept teasing the Stars Clash, and that really got you heart as a viewer, like, oh, you can't hit that, it's so disrespectful. It got heel heat on the Elite, and I'm a big fan of that. And I pretty much enjoy. I don't really look forward to 6-man tags, but there was a championship on the line, even though we've had 5 champions. 5 Never Openweight 6-man tag champs since January the 4th, when the championship was introduced at Wrestle Kingdom 10, which is absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous. Shibata then defeated Hiroshi Tenzan for the retained the Never Openweight Championship. Okay match. Then after the match, basically Yuji Nagata got in the ring and they did a stare down with Shibata and Yuji Nagata. And I apologize, I completely forgot, because obviously I've got no notes. I've just got the list of results up here. At the end of the 6-man tag for the Never Openweight 6-man tag championship, Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin stared down with the IWGP Intercontinental Championship up in the air. So at the next Korakuen Hall show, I think it is, or Guraka, I'm sorry, I slaughtered the Japanese language. I do apologize. It will be Michael Elgin versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And Michael Elgin is, he's really talented guy. I've been following him since 2012. I think he made his debut with the House of Truth for Ring of Honor, maybe 2011, and he's really grown as a performer. He really has, and he's an incredible athlete, and this is his dream from day one. I remember on Ring of Honor back in 2011 or 2012. I can't remember. My years are a bit iffy. They did talk about how Michael Elgin's dream was to come to New Japan and win singles gold. So hopefully Michael Elgin does win that, because that'll be a great feel-good moment. Shibata and Tenzan was your traditional stiff, Never Openweight match. Wasn't nothing special. Went 10 minutes, a bit long, but guess. Then the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tangaroy. Tangaroy is Camacho, formerly of WWE, and Tama Tonga is his brother. They're both sons of the legendary Haku. They defeated GBH, which is Toki Makabe, and Honma for the IWGP Tag Team Championships in a match that, to me, went a bit too long. It went 17 minutes nearly, which is the second longest match of the card. I know it was the semi-main, but to me, I would have much rather have Kushida and Will Ospreay go another fucking few minutes and have this. But it was an okay match. This was one of the matches on the card that I wasn't particularly looking forward to, but came out really impressed and really enjoyed. And Gorillas of Destiny winning their first tag champs. Good to see some heels now back with the belts, because obviously you got Roppongi Vice face champion, Kushida face champion, Tanahashi Elgin Tatsu face, Shibata face, and now you got Gorillas of Destiny as heels. And speaking of heels, Tetsuya Naito, accompanied with the Los Ingobernables de Japan, which was Bushi and Evil. He defeated Kazuchika Okada, who had Gato in his corner, to win his first ever IWGP Heavyweight Championships in an absolute cracking match. Nearly went 30 minutes. I was really impressed. I really enjoyed this match. Naito got the win after hitting his finisher, La Finito. And I might break that down for you. Let's quickly, let me open up the file really quickly. Yes, I'm going to save changes for that. I do apologize. Let's see what we got here. Invasion Attack 2016. No, I don't want to replace it. Let's go. CZW. I'm in the middle of watching the CZW show, by the way. I'm watching Best of the Best. In case you didn't know, it's actually a pretty damn good show. I can't believe I just said that. And one thing you'll learn about me is I'm not really a fan of deathmatch wrestling, but the CCW Best of the Best is pretty damn good. So basically, I'm going to break down just that single match, the IWGP Championship match. Naito earned this match after winning the New Japan Cup. The crowd are strangely behind Naito, which is really strange because even though he's really over because the amount of merch he sells and how good he is in the ring and his character's really good, it's strange he's a heel. And unlike the American crowds, the Japanese crowd are really respectful. They're really sophisticated and they don't boo. They cheer the babyface, they boo the heels no matter if they like them or not. Okada has probably one of the best entrances to theme songs and entrances. You know, he has money flicking around the air. And if I was a promoter, if I was, making a video game and I was building from the ground up a wrestling heavyweight champion of the world, it would be like Okada. The guy's incredible. Carino called him the measuring stick in New Japan, and you can't really deny that. Crowd split 50-50, Okada and Naito chants simultaneously. Electric atmosphere, given that big fight feel. Match starts off some nice technical work. Again, I was just watching this. I was just so surprised, how the crowd would get behind Naito more and more as the match went on and as it progressed. Naito beats the crap out of Gedo, trying to get heat. Evil then puts a chair basically around Okada's neck, and with another chair, he hits it into the neck. Really nasty spot. Then Okada runs and jumps over the guardrail and crossbodies all members of Los Gana, don't know what they're called. Naito then hits a low blow as the ref distracted and then hits an STO and a Koji Clux. Looks like we're going to get a stoppage, but as Red Shoes checks Okada's he lunges to the ropes. That was done really well, by the way. I thought it was going to be over. Really good stuff there. Naito then hits a hammerlock into a side slam. That didn't look pretty. I'm going to be honest, that looked nasty. Finisher counter. Okada then hits a dropkick off the top, and he must have went about 16, 18 feet across the ring. And that it's a 20 by 20 ring in New Japan. And he went from at least one side to the other, but it was diagonally. It was a really beautiful spot. Great spring in the legs. Naito then pushes Red Shoes into Okada's forearm, so we got a ref bump. Bushi then mists Okada, but Okada ducks. Okada takes him out with the best dropkick in professional wrestling and then hits a tombstone. Some guy in full black and a mask comes out. He hits a TKO on Okada. The guy takes his mask off. It's fucking Sonata. Sonata, formerly TNA Division Champion, formerly TNA guy, formerly from Wrestle 1, making his debut in New Japan Pro Wrestling here. Sonata hits a moonsault off the top. Gator then stands there with open mouth. Okada goes for the Rainmaker. That gets ducked until Naito hits the Destinado to get the win. Pop from the crowd. Listen to this. You want to learn about people, companies, wrestling companies, treating their main championship, their world championship with prestige and with honor. He is only the fourth person to hold the IWGP World Championship in the last 5 years. The previous three were AJ Styles, Tanahashi, and Okada. That's how you treat a belt with respect. That's how you treat it with honor. That's how you make the championship mean something and how you make people pay to see that specific championship match. Bushi and Evil then beat down on Grado. Ishii and Goto come out to make the save. Ishii and Naito have an awesome stare down that sets up the next show where you have Ishii versus Naito for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Really awesome and professional ceremony. Then Red Shoes presents the belt to Naito. Red Shoes, by the way, is the senior official for New Japan. Naito throws the belt in the air. He kicks Red Shoes in the knees and then hits a running drop kick, taking his damn head off. Naito cuts a promo and says he can hear. Basically, Steve Corino did a great job, by the way, on commentary all night, as did Kevin Kelly, the Ring of Honor team, because obviously the Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling work relationship, and it was so much better than the Matt Striker commentary because I wasn't just a fan of that. And basically, they cut a promo. He says he can hear a new honor in New Japan Pro Wrestling and thanks his supporters and does his end line, which crowd chant word for word, and then ends with a Naito chant. Confetti fills the building. Naito then launches the belt in the air and walks off without it. What a prick. How can you not hate that but not love it because it's so damn cool and so damn awesome at the same damn time? Damn, 19 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, 19 minutes in, and we're yet to talk a single thing about the week in professional wrestling. We just talked about the New Japan Pro Wrestling Invasion Attack Gang pay-per-view. And if you're wondering how you can watch the events, you head over to New Japan World. Sign up. It's 9.99 yen. If you're living in England, that's about £6. I'm going to take a drink of Pepsi, swig a drink for the listeners. Oh. Up next, Monday Night Raw. So get your memories up. April the 11th. And before we break down Monday Night Raw, I'm going to talk about the TV ratings for this show. You had April 11th edition scored a 2.50 rating, which is down close to 15% from a pretty damn good high of 2.93 last week. And it's not a good high, really, is it? It's not really a good high. 2.93 is still, for WWE and for Monday Night Raw's standards, that's still a pretty damn low rating. You know, back in the Attitude Era with like 7s and 8s, and now we're at 2.93s. You know, it's kind of sad. And now we dropped down to 2.50. And also, what's really interesting now is the WrestleMania high. Now we're back down to the WrestleMania low. We're heading over to the biggest part of the SummerSlam. Rumored matches so far are Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Apparently, according to certain sites, that's the match that they're going to be going with. So basically, Monday Night Raw down in the ratings. I'm going to give you the hourly breakdown. I might as well give you the hourly breakdown while I'm here. So the first hour did 3.74 million viewers, which is down 800,000 viewers from last week. From hour one alone. That's insanity. 800,000 people decided, I'm not watching Raw compared to last week. That's absolutely insane and ludicrous and ridiculous. The second hour was up to a 3.687, which makes me happy because in the second hour featured the AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn match. So good job. I wish we got the minute-by-minute breakdown, but we can't get that. And that was 490,000 down from last week's hour 2. And the main event did 3.427 million viewers, which was down, 390,000. So pretty still down poor. But Monday Night Raw as a whole was enjoyable. I enjoyed Shane running the show as an babyface authority figure, something different. I'm damn sick and tired of the bullshit authority angle. It's like the only way they actually ever made a star was through the authority. Look at John Cena always feuded with him. Seth Rollins was involved. Dean Ambrose always involved. Roman Reigns always involved. Bray Wyatt to an extent involved. All the main event storylines had to go through the authority. Now it's an open playing field. And now you're getting guys like The Miz coming out. You got Cesaro. You know, I'm looking forward to that. I think they've done a great job in that. And I think Cesaro did a good job in his return. And I'm going to be honest with you here, guys. Miz is one, in my opinion, of the best heels in the business today. And you know why? Because he is actually a heel. You know, he doesn't have merchandise. He doesn't have fan support. Do you know why? Because he's damn good at his job. You know, there's a difference between being a heel like Eva Marie. She's not a heel, but she gets booed, and then people say, oh, she's going to be one of the best heels in the business. Apologize to Rick Rude. Apologize to Rick Rude right now. Bullshit. That's awful. I hate it. I hate it when people say, oh, Roman Reigns is going to be a great heel. He's going to be a great heel because he got booed so badly that it's just logical to turn him heel. And it's not because, oh, he's a great worker, he plays the crowd really well. No. And it really drives me crazy and insane. That's why we come up with the expression, apologize to Rick Rude, because Rick Rude was one of the best heels of all time. And if you don't know who Rick Rude is, A, you should be ashamed of yourself. B, if you're a newer fan, head back on the WWE Network if you have it. And if you don't, head over to a dirt sheet website, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it's a pirate's life for you. And then download or however you do it. Just get hold of some late WCWs from like 92, 93, 94, where he was the US champ and the world champ. Check out some of his stuff. But didn't look good for ratings. But as a whole, I did thoroughly enjoy Monday Night Raw. I loved the main event of Dina Reigns and Bray Wyatt teaming up against the League of Nations. As a whole, normally we're very critical on Monday Night Raw, and I'm the first to tell you there is a huge difference between sports entertainment and pro wrestling. I'm a fan of professional wrestling, but I also do not mind a bit of sports entertainment. And I was thoroughly sports entertained on Monday. I'm a fan of this tournament. I'm a fan of the Bullet Club debut. And the only thing that pisses me off, and we try our hardest to not say, oh, we blah, 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 blah. There's loads of shows out there who say, oh, the IWC. We take pride in saying, no, we don't give a fuck. We're just fans who have our opinions, and we want to give you our opinions. That's it. You know, because Sports Network, it's okay to be a passionate fan. That's our motto. That's our goal. We're just passionate fans coming on here and giving our verbiage and giving our opinions on booking, on writing, the talent's involvement, you know, the every aspect of the psychology or anything like that. That's what we do. But one thing that I can't stand is, you know, all these people claiming, oh, Bullet Club, Bullet Club, Bullet Club, Bullet Club. Oh, I love the Bullet Club. Look at me, I'm in a Bullet Club shirt. Oh, look at me, I'm in a Bullet Club shirt. Okay, but have you ever watched a Bullet Club match? Yeah, I saw AJ versus some Japanese guy. No. Or, oh, I watched AJ versus Ibushi, or because Ibushi was on NXT. Or, oh, I saw AJ at Wrestle Kingdom against Nakamura. You know, just don't say you watch something when you don't. Like, I try to watch everything, and sometimes it can be to my downfall because it makes me enjoy WWE less. But I'm just a fan of the wrestling genre as a whole and just love the entire industry. and I want it to succeed and do well and make profit and make money. Because the way I see it, the more people that watch New Japan means the more people that watch my New Japan reviews, which means the more money I make. The more people that watch the Impact means the more people that watch my Impact review, which means the more money I make. Same as SmackDown, same as Lucha, same as Ring of Honor, same as AAA, same as fucking Gary Neville in fucking a gimp suit down the road. You know, in the end of the day, the more people that watch that means the more people that will check out reviews. So that's the way I see it. So please don't be one of those people. If you don't watch New Japan, don't claim, oh, I'm a big Bullet Club mark. I bought the shirt. Fuck off. Watch it and prove it, okay? Impact Wrestling, okay? We're going to go viewership figures-wise, okay? So as you all know, usually what happened is you combined the audiences, okay? So for instance, last week, they got 338,000 because that was combined of 272,000 first viewers and 66,000 of the replay. This week's edition of Impact Wrestling, which was pretty good, mind you, and I'm going to ask, people hate TNA because they hate the brand, okay? Like I told you, I don't root for a company. I honestly don't. I have an Impact hat here. I have a TNA hat. I got New Japan, NXT. I've got Progress. I don't root for a company. I root for the sport. And yes, it is a sport. If you don't think it's a sport, you can go fuck yourself, quite frankly. I don't care how controversial you may think. I don't care if you think I'm an imbecile or a sack of shit. It is a sport. And what pisses me off is, okay, people will say, I hate TNA. And then if they watch it, I guarantee they would enjoy it. But those same people who say they hate TNA watch W and think W is good. Excuse me. I watch all shows, and I think Impact is in the top tier 3 every week. I'm loving their stories. I'm loving their character development. I'm loving their in-ring. I'm looking forward to Matt and Jeff. I'm looking forward to Fat Hardy versus Spliff Hardy next week. I'm looking forward to Impact every week. I'm looking forward to Lucha. Excuse me. I look forward to NXT. Those are the 3 shows I look forward to every single week, no matter what. And, you know, people who say, fuck that company, don't say fuck that company. Say fuck that specific talent or that specific storyline or that specific match that you're not a fan of. You can't say fuck a company when you don't watch the weekly show. So if you really don't like the company, watch it. Tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me what's wrong with it, okay? Tell me what's wrong with it, and then I will tell you either, yes, you're right, that does need to improve. Because Impact's not perfect. There's so much they could do that could improve the product. But they still do lots of things right, okay? Now, they could fire Tyrus. That could be a great start, but that won't happen. The main event was Drew Galloway, your world champion, and Spliff Hardy versus Fat Hardy and Tyrus in a okay main event. I was a big fan of EC3 and Mike Bennett. You got 2 future main event talents anywhere in the world. They had a pretty damn good match. EC3 being this hardcore badass. And when a talent can go from a snobby heel to a snobby baby face to a badass son of a bitch, that means you have some special talent, and a special talent in EC3 TNA has. Now use him well, protect him. Viewership wise though, they were 286,000 viewers. That wasn't the combined audience, that was just the audience for that show. So they were up from last week's first viewership of 272, so that's a good sign. And now I'm looking forward to checking out what they did for the 11:30 show they did in the morning. Say now, instead of doing the replay 12 p.m. On Pop TV on Tuesday, they now do it 11:30 a.m. on a Saturday. And I'm very curious and interested to see what the viewership does for that. But again, back up from last week's 272, which is a good thing. We're going to go into Lucha Underground, TV ratings and viewership. The first running drew 139,000 viewers, and the replay drew 66,000 viewers. So combined, they had 205,000 viewers. Now this was down from last week. Last week, the combined viewers was 234,000, but this week we're down to 205,000. But don't take that as a bad thing, because they're 80,000 viewers away from catching up with TNA Wrestling. Pop TV is a much, much, much bigger threshold, much bigger platform than Lucha Underground. So if Lucha Underground keeps this up, Lucha Underground technically, even though it's a television show and a television company and ran as such and by one, this could be the second biggest wrestling promotion in America. Imagine that. Lucha Underground is the second. This shows that no matter how shitty network you're on, if you put on good content week after week and gain the audience's trust, that's a big thing that people really don't appreciate. Gain the casual viewers' trust that you're not going to fuck them over or do a bad story or do bad matches or do bad shows. They're consistent and it provides with trust, which means they're going to continue to watch week in or week out. 205,000 viewers is a top draw for El Rey Network. That is a great rating, and I'm very proud of them. I am pretty proud of them. It was a decent show as well, always is Lucha Underground. So make sure you check out Lucha Underground review on pressing.me for more information. SmackDown TV rating, they got a 1.70. Slightly down from 1.75 of last week, but around the same. Not really going to complain about that. Viewership figure-wise, they got an average of 2.355 million, which is just slightly down from 2.44 million viewers of last week. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. I was thoroughly enjoyed by SmackDown. I say this every week. SmackDown is a much better show than Monday Night Raw. It's simple, it's effective. In-ring is focused a lot on. I was a huge fan of Alberto Del Rio versus AJ Styles. That was meant to happen in November-ish of last year. I think it might have been September or August or October of last year in Ring of Honor, and it never happened. So I was happy we got this first time ever meeting. Also enjoying the main event of Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. Vaude Villains are a clusterfuck and a mess, and I feel sorry for them. They did win their quarterfinal. Excuse me. God, I got the worst tickly cough, and as a podcast, just the worst nightmare. You wake up and you're like, oh no. It's 1:32 p.m. as of recording on a Sunday, and I woke up at around about 11:30, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got the worst tickly cough. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I've got to record for the peoplesmovies.com. Got to get the weekend wrestling out. After this, I've got to film a couple of shows for PWME. And there's so much I've got to do today. It's Sunday, it's my day off. And then tomorrow, I'm going to watch Monday Night Raw live from the O2 Arena in London, England. So if you are going to that and you're listening to this, come over, shake my hand. Why didn't you buy me a beer? Buy me a beer, come on. You buy me a beer? No, I'm joking. I don't want no one buying me a beer. I couldn't stand that. But a handshake would be nice. But I digress. SmackDown is very enjoyable. And if you're listening to this and you don't watch SmackDown on a regular basis, I would start watching this. The past few weeks, really, ever since Mania, I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed last week's show a lot. I enjoyed a lot more than Raw. And this week's show I enjoyed a lot. I really did. I mean, you had a Miz and Zack Ryder segment, which is very good and actually made me intrigued in seeing a Batty Ryder versus the Miz match. Sorry, I'm not a fan of Zack Ryder. Oh, yes, this is brilliant. The peoplesmovies.com have never seen me go on a Zack Ryder rant. Okay, well, basically, the reason why I'm not a fan of one Mr. Zack Ryder is simply because he bitches, he moans on social media, he got over because he made an internet show, and then don't use the excuse, at least he got himself over. No, you get yourself over by doing what Cesaro does, by what AJ Styles did, by what Sami Zayn did, by what Kevin Owens did, by what all these people did. That's going out there, busting your ass off, connecting with the audience, having great match after great match after great match, earning their trust again, and making them believe you are one of the best in the world. Zack Ryder, on the other hand, bitched and moaned on social media, and then he created a YouTube show, Z, the True Long Island fucker, and then boom, next minute he's US champion, and then boom, he's back on Superstars where he damn belongs. Sack of shit. If hating Zack Ryder is wrong, I never want to be right. Absolute imbecile. I can't stand him. On some news just the past few days, so 2 men have been suspended from the WWE, which was announced Saturday morning on their corporate website, which was Adam Rose and Connor from the Ascension. They've been suspended for 60 days for violating the wellness policy. This is their second time of violating it, so the next time they violate this policy, they are fired. And you got to feel sorry for Victor. I mean, Victor now is left with what, by himself in a singles matches. I guarantee what's going to happen is you're going to check out main event and you're going to check out Superstars results, or if you don't watch them, if you actually watch them, check out the shows. You're going to find him involved in singles matches. I do feel sorry for Victor, because in the end of the day, Connor has fucked him over, and Victor's probably really hot with him at the moment. Unless we don't really know what he's been suspended for. Maybe, he took a tablet that was wrong, or he's in pain and he took a painkiller, but he didn't realize such and such was involved, and I don't know. But I'm not really going to speculate. I'm not going to insult these people. I do not know why they got suspended. So it's not, as a person, I don't feel it's right to criticize these people because I don't know what they were in for. But I wish them, Connor, nothing but the best. And, hopefully the social outcasts don't get fucked as well, because I'm enjoying their act. We have some more people announced for the Global Cruiserweight Series, which, as I said earlier, airs on July on the W Network. The people announced so far are Zack Sabre Jr., Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa, Noam Dar, and Ho Ho Lun. Never seen Ho Ho Lun before or even heard of him. Added to the list now, Kota Ibushi from Japan, Lince Dorado from the Indies in America, 4 wrestlers from the WN Live, aka Evolve, one of my favorite companies out there, TJP, Freddie, Tracy Williams, and Drew Gulak. And from the UK Indies, we've got Flash Morgan Webster, Jack Gallagher, and Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne I saw just a few months ago at Revolution Pro Wrestling. Flash Morgan Webster, one of the best high flyers in England right now for Rev Pro and Progress Wrestling. Jack Gallagher's the same. He wrestles a lot in Future Shock Wrestling as well as Progress. So I'm looking forward to that a lot, and I'm really enjoying this series. I'm going to enjoy the series. There's going to be 16 qualifying matches, 4 in Evolve, 4 in so far announced are Progress. So that's 8 talents. There's still a few more, and 4 will be taking place from Revolution Pro Wrestling. So I'm actually looking forward to that a lot, and I might go and check out some of those live or on demand. But there is 32 talents. We've announced half now, so we have 16 people announced. We still have 16 more to be announced, and there will only be 16 people qualifying for this tournament. Okay, so that's going to do it for the very first edition of the Week in Wrestling. I hope you all enjoyed this show. Make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, and make sure you hit that damn subscribe button. This has been LK from thepeoplesmovies.com. This is my very first show on here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I've really enjoyed this, really summarizing the week in pro wrestling when it pertains to the wrestling shows. So make sure you head over to thepeoplesmovies.com, check out all the great articles. Just check it out. Please go out your way, check it out. Also check out prowrestling.me, which is what I do other 6 days a week, well, 7 days a week actually. I don't take a day off, but that's the way I want to live it. I'm loving life right now. Going to the O2 tomorrow, so that's why I put this in the can. Please, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Leave some comments what you enjoyed, what you didn't like, what shows you're looking forward to next week, what shows you enjoyed this week. But most importantly, make sure you stay safe, make sure you stay well, and I'll be damn sure catching your asses next Sunday, next week, and every single day over at prowrestling.me, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.